A wheelchair lift can be a game changer for independence, but only if it's the right choice for your needs. I'm Aleck from MoveMobility, and today I'm answering the top questions that I hear about wheelchair lifts, covering everything from weight capacity and safety to maintenance and troubleshooting. So what is a wheelchair lift? A wheelchair lift is a hydraulic platform attached to your van, either at the rear or the side. It raises and lowers to move a wheelchair user between the ground level and the van floor. You can think of it like a small elevator. The platform comes down to meet the person where they are. They roll on, and the lift brings them up to the van floor. No incline and no pushing up a slope. It's a flat, level surface that does the work. So now that you know what it is, let's talk about how it actually works. Using a lift is straightforward. You park the van, engage the parking brake, and deploy the lift, using the included control panel. The platform lowers flat to the ground. The wheelchair user rolls on, or is assisted by a support worker. The operator presses the button, and the platform raises smoothly to the van floor. From there, the wheelchair can roll straight into the vehicle. To exit, you would reverse the process. The whole sequence takes a bit longer than a ramp. A lift trades some of that speed for less physical effort from your staff. This matters a lot if you're doing this multiple times a day or moving heavier wheelchairs. The lift platform stays level the entire time that it moves. It doesn't tilt. This makes a much smoother and stable experience, especially for people using the lift for the first time. But before you use it, you'll need to verify that you are under the weight capacity. The weight capacity of a wheelchair lift can vary depending on the manufacturer. For wheelchair lifts included in MoveMobility vehicles, it will depend on where the lift is installed. For rear entry lifts, the weight capacity is 1,000 pounds. And for side entry mounted wheelchair lifts, the weight capacity is 800 pounds. That's the combined weight between the person, the mobility device, and any other cargo. Here's why that number matters more than most people realize. It sounds like a lot, but some powered wheelchairs are over 400 pounds themselves. Add a passenger and you're probably still fine, but if you have oxygen tanks, heavy bags, or anything else adding to the weight, you may be closer to the capacity than you think. If you haven't checked your heaviest wheelchair against the lift's capacity, make sure to do that now, before it becomes a problem down the road. Platform dimensions matter too, not just the weight. Our standard lift platforms are 34 inches wide by 54 inches long. This handles most manual and powered wheelchairs without issues. But if you're transporting larger devices, we do have a wider 37-inch platform available. Make sure to let us know during the ordering process. Before ordering any wheelchair accessible vehicle, make sure to check with the manufacturer on the lift capacity and platform dimensions. Now, the weight capacity is one thing, but you need to be asking whether a wheelchair lift is the right decision for your needs. This is a question a lot of organizations forget to ask until it's too late. So let's answer it right now. A lift tends to be the right choice if you're transporting people in heavier wheelchairs, especially if they are manual. These are generally difficult to push up a ramp incline. It's also a strong option if you need to reduce the amount of physical exertion required by your staff. The lift does the lifting and your team operates the button. Now, this is where a lift might not be the right fit. If most of your passengers use walkers or canes rather than wheelchairs, a lift can feel unsettling. It suspends them a few feet off of the ground, which some people find uncomfortable. A ramp is a gentler experience for that group. And if your organization does high volume and speed matters, the lifts are slower to load and unload than the ramps. None of this is a reason to rule out the lift, but it's a reason to match the tool to the job. Now, assuming that a lift is the right choice, the next thing that people want to know is if it's safe to use. And there's more built into these things than most people expect. Yes, a lift is safe, and there are specific features that make that true. The first is the interlock system. The lift cannot operate unless the engine is running, the van is in park, and the parking brake is on. If a driver forgets to set the parking brake or turns the engine off too soon, the lift will not move. This is a hard stop built into the system. The second is the platform restraint belt. This is a safety catch that prevents the wheelchair from rolling too far back during lift operation. The third is the side barriers. The platform has raised sides that prevent the wheelchair from moving sideways during lift operation. Especially useful if someone is changing their position mid-lift or using a powered wheelchair. Fourth, the flat ground requirement. The lift is designed to be deployed on level ground. On a significant slope, the platform can tilt, uncomfortable at best and unsafe at worst. Training your drivers to find flat ground before deploying is a simple way to prevent that risk. And fifth, the manual backup. If there is an electrical failure, the lift doesn't lock up. A manual system allows your staff to raise or lower the lift without power. Nobody gets stranded. All of these are standard and not optional add-ons. Knowing that your lift is safe is one thing, but keeping it that way is another. And that's where a lot of organizations leave reliability on the table. Lift maintenance isn't complicated, but skipping it is one of the most common reasons they have problems. The single most important habit is to operate the lift at least once a week, even if no one is riding it. Lifts have hydraulic components and mechanical parts that need to keep moving in order to stay healthy. A lift that sits unused for weeks or months can seize up or develop hydraulic issues that require a service call. 30 seconds of operation once a week prevents most of that. Beyond that, lubricate the mechanical parts on a regular schedule. Keep the platform clear of snow and ice, and get a safety inspection done periodically. Your manufacturer can walk you through the specific intervals for your model. The maintenance commitment on a hydraulic lift is higher than a manual ramp. That's honest, but it's manageable. And most of the problems we see in the field come down to neglect, not defect. Which leads directly to the last question. What if my lift breaks down? It happens. Even a well-maintained lift will have an issue eventually. A hydraulic line, a cold weather freeze, or an electrical fault. When it happens, don't force it. Most issues can be diagnosed over the phone. You can call our service team at 844-951-3808 or reach us at service@movemobility.ca. You can then walk us through what you are seeing. A lot of the time, our team can walk you through the fix right then. If it needs to come in, we have locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Mississauga, Ontario, as well as other authorized service centers across the country. You can also submit a service request through our website. And remember, the lift has a manual backup. If the lift platform has an electronical issue, you can still operate the lift manually while you figure out a repair. Nobody gets stuck waiting. So there you have it, the top questions we get about wheelchair lifts answered. If you're thinking that a ramp might be a better option for your needs, I have a video linked up here that answers the questions about that. And if you have any other questions about a wheelchair lift, you can put them in the comments down below. We're always here to help.